Namaskar. I, Akanksha, welcome you all to our show, Shakti, Salute to a Great Indian Woman. Women is now no more an epitome of love, grace, and beauty. Instead, she has changed her name to more energetic, enthusiastic, and career oriented. She has removed the tag of being called only as a housewife. She is now known by the new name of homemaker, come doctor, come engineer, come teacher, come lawyer, and so on. Some of them have even challenged men and has reached the topmost position of the male-dominated business world. Some of the women have even become the trendsetters and inspiring women for millions of other women. Some have even reached the zenith of their professional career. In our show Shakti, we will try to show that Indian women is the strongest energy on this earth.
This is Kalpana Morparia, an inspiring model and entrepreneur for all the women in India. She is among the 50th most powerful women in international business. Above all, a CEO of multinational company JP Morgan. She was an ordinary girl from the conservative Gujarati family. Like any other ordinary girl, she traveled in Mumbai local buses. She was focused on study. She started her profession as a teaching, and after that she completed her LLB. And now finally she is a CEO of multinational company without any MBA degree. Make her special and powerful, and above all an inspiration for all. She proves that winners don't do different things, they do things differently.
In the first episode of our show Shakti, we have one such inspiring role model with us. She belonged to a conservative family of Gujarat. Despite all odds, she has overcome all the obstacles in her life and has achieved the highest position in the multinational company JP Morgan in India. Through her continuous hard work, dedication, she has reached the zenith of this male-oriented business world. Namaskar, Kalpana ji.
Very happy to be here.
Same here. Now, I just want to know from you that how do you feel being here as a CEO of a multinational company, JP Morgan in India?
It's been a wonderful journey for me. Coming from a traditional Gujarati background, to be here today as CEO of JP Morgan and before that the Joint Managing Director of ICICI Bank have been two wonderful things that have happened in my career, and it's been a very exciting journey.
What all difficulties did you face through your journey to this CEO?
So I started with somewhat of a handicap in the financial services world. I was a lawyer with my postgrad. My undergrad was in science, and I joined a financial services company and had to deal a lot with finance. So the fact that I did not have a management degree indeed was a challenge for me. But ICICI offered such wonderful opportunities and gave me the ability to learn on the job, and I am what I am today because of that.
Were you ambitious since your childhood?
No, I was not ambitious at all. I thought high school education was good enough for me. After that, I wanted a life like girls of those age, get married, have lots of children, work, career, position had no meaning for me.
So if these things were nowhere in your life, then what was the turning point?
So really it was my mother who believed very strongly that women must be self-sufficient. They must gain economic independence before they think of marriage. So she was a big influence. My husband encouraged me a lot because I got married midway into doing my law. And so on the personal front, I had two great people driving me to go and do something. And in my work career, I had a lot of good bosses, including Mr. Kamath.
Apart from JP Morgan, there are a number of other organizations with which you have worked. Can you tell me what was your experience working with them?
So I spent most of my life in ICICI and then ICICI Bank after the merger. I spent 33 years of my career there, one of the most fulfilling parts of my life. It was a complete identity for me. I remember I used to always introduce myself as Kalpana Morparia from ICICI. So much so that at one time I used to wear the ICICI's logo as part of my Mangal Sutra. So it was a complete identity for me. And I retired from ICICI. I believed I was too young to retire. And therefore, when a couple of offers came my way from investment banks, I was fortunate in getting an offer from JP Morgan. And here I am. I'll complete 5 years this September.
You are being ranked as one of the 50 most powerful businesswomen. How do you feel about that?
You know, frankly, these rankings don't mean much to me, whether it's power
They
rankings
don't mean much to you, but still they matter a lot for India. When we look at you, we really feel proud about that.
Yeah, so if this encourages other women to aspire to being leaders, I feel very good about it. What has meant a lot to me is the lives that I have touched in my 38-year career in banking, and that gives me a huge joy. The position that ICICI Bank is in today and the position that JP Morgan is in India today gives me a lot more joy. And the thousands of people who I've had the privilege of working with, interacting with them, seeing what phenomenal leaders they've become gives me enormous joy.
Let's take a small break, Kalpana, and I will like to know more about you and your life after a break. Welcome back to our show, Shakti, Salute to a Great Indian Woman. Let's talk to Kalpana and try to find out more about her. Apart from being the CEO of JP Morgan, you are also associated with the philanthropic work of Bharti Foundation. How do you manage your professional life and community life? And what are your future plans?
So I always felt that I give so much to my work life that I've never really focused enough on what I need to do as a responsible social citizen. And one of my colleagues encouraged me to run for the marathon once. We both ran in that dream run, and I remember collected a handsome sum of more than 1 crore of rupees. And then I was really looking for an organization which has scale, which has a lot of credibility, which can have a true impact on the society. And someone introduced me to Bharti Foundation. I even read about them actually in one of the newspapers. And I adopted a school that I named after my nephew and his father. And then I adopted one more school, and Bharti actually even invited me to be on their board. In fact, just a week ago, I spent a day in Punjab going around to these schools. These are schools created in rural India. There are 250 schools which impart education completely free of cost and even give a midday meal to the children. So there are about close to 39,000 children who are benefiting with this education initiative.
How will you distinguish Kalpana way back in 70s to a contemporary Kalpana, a complete businesswoman?
Oh, they're very different. When I was that age, I used to be very impatient. I used to get angry very often. Now there are very few occasions when I really get angry and have a lot more patience. At that time, I really had no vision. As I said, I thought about just getting married and having lots of children. Instead of which now I feel nothing's impossible. You can actually make things happen.
In everybody's life, there is someone who works as a supporter, who gives us support and shows us the path. Who was that supporter in your life?
So in my personal life, it was really my mother. As I said, she inculcated this feeling about economic independence for a woman, pushed me through school and undergrad. Then my husband, who really encouraged me a lot in completing my law education and working, never grudged me all my long hours at work. In my work life, I've been very fortunate with a number of bosses, but the boss who really impacted me and turned my career the most was Mr. K.V. Kamath, the CEO of ICICI Bank.
After being CEO, do you miss traveling in local trains of Mumbai?
I actually never had to travel so I had somewhat of a privileged never had to travel in local trains.
Or bus.
Yeah, bus. I do sometimes. Really wish one day I want to get back onto that BEST bus. But you know, in our family, I'm not treated special at all. So you know, once in a year we have a big function at home. I actually go to the kitchen and cook alongside with them. So the family is a great grounding. It never recognizes the fact that you're a CEO or an executive or you're a power so and so. To them, I am.
So from your
just
busy
Kalpana.
schedule, do you get the time to pursue your hobbies?
Yes, so I'm a big Bollywood fan. I watch a lot of Bollywood movies. I read a lot. I like traveling a lot. So whenever I find the time, I do pursue all these activities.
If you're made to sit in a time machine, where would you like to go, to your past or to your future?
Of course, to the future.
Why?
Because that's where all the excitement and fun is going to be. Why would I want to look into my past?
If by chance you go to past, then what are the things that you would like to correct there?
So certainly the fact that I don't have a child is a big thing for me. So whether it's a biological child or an adopted child, I really wish I could have fixed that.
You have a number of students of Bharti Foundations with you now.
Yes, yes, all 39,000 of them.
Okay, I would just like to know that how do you feel and what message do you want to convey to the Indian women so that they can also make their career bright and can think to be at a great position?
So I think they should pursue really what they want to do, because in my belief is that nothing is impossible in life. If you really want to do something and you go out and make that commitment, then the entire universe will conspire with you in making it happen. So if a woman says that I really just want to be with my family and my children, that's fine. I mean, being a homemaker is also wonderful.
Yes.
And if she feels that no, I really want to go and make a career for myself, marriage can be incidental, children may come, that's fine as well. Just pursue your dream, don't be diffident.
How important it is for a woman to get married, to have children, and to make her own family, to prove her identity in Indian society.
So I truly believe the woman of today has choices. It's wonderful if she wants to get married, have children and a career, great. But if she feels that she really wants to pursue a career and does not want to get married, I guess that's okay as well, so long as she does what she wants to do.
Thank you, Kalpana. It was nice meeting you, talking to you, and knowing about you. It was really a wonderful experience for me.
Thank you so much. It was delightful to talk to you as well.
Welcome back after the break. So this was Kalpana Morparia. So let's now go and meet Sister Christabel.
At the age of 60, when people think of retirement, as they feel themselves tired of having done a lot of work in their life, there are few people who thinks that there is still a lot of work to be done in society, carrying some thoughts in heart. Every morning on footpath, a 60-year-old lady, nun Sister Christabel, spreads love, affection, care to poor and needy. She is running her own non-profit organization by the name of Mother Teresa Roses. This name of her organization was inspired by the red rose given to her by Mother Teresa in the hospital while she was being treated for breast cancer. Since then, this Mother Teresa Roses, with the help of some volunteers and other nuns, serve 1,500 homeless people each month. So let's raise our hand and salute the inspiration, the love, the care, the affection and magic this care gives every day to humanity.
First of all, God has inspired me because He is love. Wherever there is love, there is God. And humanity needs love. We need God. God doesn't need us. But we need each other and we need God. 25 years I was with Mother Teresa as a missionary of charity. And when I got cancer, I thought I would be dying because I was given 5 years to live. But then Mother Teresa blessed me, gave me a rose, a medal and a statue, and she said, you'll be okay. So I decided to reach out to the poor on the street that couldn't come to our homes for help because their legs are wounded, they're lying in the gutters, they're starving. So I said, let me go to them. Before, I used to pick up dying people from the road and put them in the homes for Mother Teresa. But I don't want them to reach that stage. So if I can have rooms like this all over the city where anybody can come for a meal, clean clothes, a bath, haircut, they will want to get a job. They won't want to die on the road. So that is my dream, that nobody in India or anywhere should die on the road. In Bombay, we go all over the city, right up to Panvel, Ghatkopar and all. But we've started in Goa and in Pune. Thank you. God bless you.
In this episode, we met two Shakti Swarupas, Kalpana Morparia and Sister Christabel. In the next episode, we'll meet another Shaktis and find about them. Till then, goodbye. Namaskar.